George Reeves was a pioneering figure in Hollywood, best known for being one of the earliest actors to embody the iconic superhero Superman. His portrayal in the 1950s television series Adventures of Superman left a lasting impact on pop culture, securing his place in entertainment history. However, Reeves' promising career in life came to a sudden and tragic end in 1959, when he died at the young age of 45. While his death was officially ruled a suicide by gunshot, the true circumstances surrounding his passing have been shrouded in mystery, controversy, and conspiracy theories that persist to this day. The events leading up to Reeves' death paint a complex picture involving troubled relationships, inconsistent witness testimonies, and suspicious forensic details. On the night of June 16, 1959, Reeves returned to his home at 1579 Benedict Canyon Drive in Los Angeles after an evening out with his fiancée, Leonore Lemmon. The couple arrived home around 11 p.m., at which point Reeves went straight to his bedroom to rest. Meanwhile, Lemmon invited a small group of friends, including writer Robert Condon, to join her in the living room. The atmosphere in the house grew tense as the night went on, culminating in Reeves briefly leaving his room around 1 a.m. to ask Lemmon and her guests to keep the noise down. Shortly after, he returned to his bedroom. Witnesses reported hearing a gunshot sometime after Reeves went upstairs. During this time, Lemmon reportedly joked to her guests that Reeves was going upstairs to shoot himself, although she later said she was only joking. Despite hearing the gunshot, none of the guests immediately called the police. When officers arrived, they faced a confusing scene. The gun used in the shooting bore no fingerprints, and crucially, no gunpowder residue was found on Reeves' hands, a detail that is unusual in cases of suicide by firearm. Moreover, while witnesses claimed they only heard one shot, investigators determined that 3 bullets had been fired from the weapon. Compounding the confusion, a shell casing was found beneath Reeves' body, a detail inconsistent with the ballistics of a typical suicide. It is important to note that forensic science in the late 1950s lacked many of the advanced techniques used today, potentially limiting the thoroughness of the investigation. Despite these contradictions, the Los Angeles Police Department officially ruled Reeves' death a suicide. The fatal gunshot wound to the head was estimated to have occurred between 1:30 and 2 a.m. After reviewing witness statements, the coroner's medical report, and the physical evidence available, law enforcement closed the case. The official verdict has never been formally challenged or reopened, leaving lingering questions unanswered. Friends, family, and those close to Reeves were skeptical of the suicide ruling. Notably, Noel Neill, who played Lois Lane alongside Reeves on Adventures of Superman, rejected reports of depression or mental instability. In a 2007 interview, she described Reeves as so full of life, recalling a conversation just days before his death where Reeves enthusiastically discussed future film projects, an upcoming tour of Australia, and his involvement in directing new episodes of the show. Reeves seemed hopeful and energized, making it difficult for those who knew him to accept that he would have taken his own life. Reeves' mother, Helen Besselow, was particularly unconvinced and was convinced her son was murdered. She hired an attorney to conduct a second investigation into his death. This resulted in a second autopsy, which revealed unexplained bruises on Reeves' head and body, signs that pointed to the possibility of foul play. However, after a month-long investigation with no new definitive answers, the attorney accepted the suicide ruling. Helen Besselow had Reeves cremated, but she remained haunted by doubts until her own death. Over the years, various theories about what truly happened on that fateful night have circulated widely. One popular theory centers on Lemmon, Reeves' fiancée. Author and investigator Jim Nolt has proposed that Lemmon may have accidentally shot Reeves during a heated argument. According to this theory, tensions rose when Reeves asked Lemmon to quiet her guests and expressed that he had no plans to marry her, which deeply angered Lemmon. During the confrontation, Lemmon allegedly grabbed a gun and, in the heat of the moment, unintentionally fired the fatal shot. Although Lemmon was a suspect initially, no physical evidence ever conclusively tied her to the shooting. She passed away in 1989, still never fully explaining her side of the story. Other theories focus on Reeves' complicated romantic entanglements, particularly his decade-long affair with Toni Mannix, wife of Hollywood executive Eddie Mannix. Eddie Mannix was a powerful figure at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM, the studio behind Adventures of Superman, and reportedly had connections to organized crime. Toni and Reeves' affair was an open secret in Hollywood, but in early 1959, Reeves ended the relationship to commit to Lemmon. This breakup allegedly devastated Toni and put a strain on her marriage with Eddie. Some have speculated that Toni Mannix, heartbroken and vengeful, orchestrated Reeves' death. Others believe that Eddie Mannix, angry about Reeves ending the affair and wanting to protect his wife's reputation, arranged for Reeves to be killed, using his influence and alleged mob ties. Eddie died in 1963, and Toni in 1983. However, decades later, publicist Edward Lazzi claimed he overheard Toni confessing to a priest that she was responsible for having Reeves murdered, confessing out of fear of damnation. Additionally, actress Phyllis Coates, who played Lois Lane after Noel Neill, stated that Toni called her in the early hours after Reeves' death, ominously telling her, "The boy is dead. He's been murdered." Such statements only deepened the aura of mystery surrounding Reeves' passing. The story of George Reeves has continued to captivate audiences and investigators alike, blending tragedy, Hollywood glamour, and intrigue. His death was dramatized in the 2006 film Hollywoodland, starring Ben Affleck as Reeves. The movie explored multiple possible scenarios: suicide, accidental shooting, contract killing, and revenge murder, reflecting the unresolved nature of the case. Ultimately, despite decades of speculation, no definitive evidence has emerged to conclusively explain what happened that night. George Reeves' death remains a haunting mystery, and his legacy as Superman endures alongside the unanswered questions about his final moments.